Let's bring in Dr. Marc Siegel, Fox News medical contributor. Dr. Siegel, I know you have said that this is very concerning. He's 55 years old, Boris Johnson. Why are you so concerned if he's not on the ventilator yet?
Well, Ainsley, why I'm not concerned is because he's 55 and he's in good health as far as we know, no underlying medical conditions, and exercises a lot. He's known as an exercise person. All of that is good. What I am concerned about is 10 days after he first started having this, he's still having the persistent fever, the cough, and the shortness of breath. The shortness of breath requiring oxygen implies that there's lung involvement going on here. It's really good news that he's not on the ventilator at this point. But we also look at the heart, the kidney, the liver. We look at all of the organs in this kind of a situation, and especially the inflammation in the lungs. Our hopes and prayers are with him. The fact that he hasn't gotten worse since he's gotten into the ICU, per your last report, could have something to do with the fact that the ICU, intensive care unit, is being used as a precaution in this case. It may just be a way to give him closer and closer observation. If we make sure and we see that he's not on the ventilator, that's going to be a good sign.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's got people concerned. A lot of people thought, too, the fact that the Queen came out and made a speech, which she almost didn't make, never makes before, very rarely if it was in a holiday. They thought that she might have known something, but we'll see where that goes. Let's talk about what Governor Cuomo was saying yesterday.
Absolutely.
For a couple of days in a row now, he talks about less incubations, less hospitalizations, less men and women going into ICUs. So it looks like the curve is bending. But in the back of my mind, I keep hearing the Surgeon General say, this week is Pearl Harbor and 9/11. What am I to believe?
Well, Brian, you should believe both. We're still not out of the woods yet, and we're seeing, as you know, over 100,000 cases in New York alone, and with the death rate starting to flatten out. That's a very good sign, because people can get diagnosed and then later on get serious complications. I think all of the social distancing, the shelter in place, all of the precautions we're taking are definitely helping dramatically. I think that's very good news. The other issue is, can we get more rapid testing? That's another thing. Ainsley mentioned at the top that at NYU Langone, my hospital, we're studying some treatments, some to decrease inflammation in the lungs. Hydroxychloroquine is being studied early in the game. These treatments can make a difference potentially. Social distancing, huge. And can we figure out who has this rapidly and separate them out? I definitely think in New York we're heading in the right direction as other hot spots are emerging, like in Louisiana and Florida. New York definitely appears to be turning the corner slowly.
And, Dr. Siegel, it was 2 days ago that Dr. Birx said from the podium, she said, don't go to the grocery store, don't go to the pharmacy. And yesterday she actually clarified, and she said she meant reduce the number of trips, consolidate, only send one person from your family, and try to only go once every 2 weeks if that is at all possible. That's really good advice if you can wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, Steve, people can't really wait 2 weeks. I think the major issue here is to be conscious of things, to be conscious of how close you are to people. I think people out there need to understand that with all of the asymptomatic spread, people that have this and don't know about it, that's why we're adding additional precautions like wearing a mask when you're close to people, because you might have it and not know it. We need people to be conscious of that. It's not about how often you go to the grocery store. It's what you do when you get there. Are you being careful? Right. Are you, again, going home and washing everything, washing your hands? Are you aware of who's next to you, what they're doing? It's about staying aware.
Dr. Siegel, I know you mentioned NYU Langone Medical School, where you teach or where you practice at that hospital. Ken Langone's been on our show a bunch. I know his story came from nothing and has created this empire, giving so much money to that hospital. Bill and Melinda Gates are funding that hydroxychloroquine trial at your hospital. And then look what they're also doing. They're spending billions to come up with these facilities, 7 facilities to try to find this vaccine. So people are really coming together, and people who have made a lot of money are giving back to this country, and it's just awesome to witness that. This is an email from Timothy. He says, my daughter is a healthcare worker. Okay, you want to comment on that?
I just want to say that I know Ken Langone is a tremendous heart, a great entrepreneur, and he's the right spirit of the country at this time, and Bill and Melinda Gates as well. You're absolutely right. A time of entrepreneurship, a time of giving back. It's the American spirit.
Absolutely. Okay, let me get back to that email. This is from Timothy, Dr. Siegel. He says, my daughter is a healthcare worker. She and her 7-year-old daughter live with us. Should we quarantine her in her room when she gets home from work? Should she stay away from her daughter?
Fantastic question. I'm more interested in her staying away from you, the writer of the email, because you're older. As far as we know, and this applies also to your lovely daughter, Ainsley, younger children are not getting this, or if they are, they're getting much milder cases. But a healthcare worker should be changing clothes constantly, should be semi-quarantining, should be taking a shower when they get home, and they should be getting tested frequently. That's the most important thing. We are testing our healthcare workers now so we can see if they've been exposed to COVID-19. They shouldn't be fully quarantined, but they should stay as separate as possible.
Yeah, so far I think the standard test still takes 7 days to get back. I can't wait till we get that 15-minute test, and that's everywhere. I don't know how long that's going to be. I'm going to go back to the emails now.
That's
Matthew's
emerging
there. Now. I hope so. It says there's been a lot of back and forth about wearing masks. But what do we do to protect our eyes? Goggles?
Well, Brian, there was a new study out yesterday that emphasized that the masks can be faulty and you have to wear them in just the right way, and the closer to a surgical mask, the better, and that keeps you from spreading it to others. We're not worried about other people spreading it to you, we're worried about you could have it and not spreading it. As far as eyes are concerned, the problem, Brian, is we're always putting our fingers in our eyes, and that's probably the #1 way we spread this. So I want people to be more conscious of that, rubbing their eyes. And I want to add something that we've never said, something very simple. When you wash your hands, wash your face. We always say wash your hands. Wash your face, because viruses live on your face, and you're always touching your face. So be aware of that. Wash your hands and wash your face.
Hands first. Gotcha. All right, doctor. Meanwhile, got an email from Kathy. She writes, social distancing seems to be working, but what happens when we get out and about again? Won't the virus spread once again? And that's the worry. You know, when people see that we're on the backside of the apex, Dr. Siegel, they're going to go, okay, we're back to normal. Not going to work like that, is it?
I have a slightly different answer than a mentor of mine, Dr. Tony Fauci, on this, who says we have to keep the same degree of social distancing in place until we get a vaccine. And I'll tell you what, my thoughts are a little different. I think the vaccine is going to be the landmark that we need. But in the meantime, we're learning good habits now, habits that we should take forward. But I really want you to understand that if we know who has this virus, who's immune to this virus, who can go back to work, who's still sick, that's going to be able to help us decrease the amount that we're using the draconian measures. Because if we knew you're immune, you're probably not going to be able to get it again. If we knew you have it, social distancing is not enough. You got to be quarantined. That's why I keep harping on the rapid testing. So I think we can decrease the amount of draconian measures the more we know who has it and who's immune.
Okay, Dr. Siegel, great to see you this morning. Thank you so much.